Rain glazed the streets of Bridgewater, Michigan, turning neon pharmacy signs into streaks of color across the wet pavement. It was light 11:46 p.m. when a police cruiser rolled into the nearly empty parking lot of Wright's Family Pharmacy. Inside sat Officer Daniel Griggs, 10 years on the force, reputation clean, judgment sometimes sharp, too sharp. To him people fit neat categories, suspicious or safe. And tonight, someone triggered his instincts the wrong way. That someone was 17-year-old Taylor Bryant, a black teen with a navy hoodie, backpack slung over one shoulder, pacing between aisles with a phone pressed to her ear. She wasn't panicked, just tired, fed up, and whispering to someone on the other end. But Daniel didn't see a kid running errands. He saw a threat. He radioed in. Possible shoplifting in progress. I'm making entry inside the pharmacy. Automatic doors slid open. Fluorescent lights hummed like trapped bees. Taylor barely noticed the officer walking in. She was struggling to choose between 2 cough syrups her grandmother needed tonight. Her voice cracked from exhaustion. Yes, Nana, I found it. Just waiting for the pharmacist to ring it up. I'll be, ma'am, Daniel barked, stepping toward her. I need to see what you're putting in that bag. Taylor froze. Confusion swept her face. Sir, I'm not stealing, he cut her off. Hands out of your pockets. Now. The cashier, Evelyn, tried to intervene. Officer, she's just waiting at the counter. He held up a hand, silencing her. Taylor's phone slipped from her grip, clattering across the floor. Fear rose like a rising tide in her chest. I haven't taken anything, she whispered. Daniel didn't hear her fear. He heard defiance. He grabbed her wrist, cuffing her before she could breathe. The entire store went still. A call that changed everything. Outside, rain hammered the cruiser roof like a drum. Taylor sat in the back seat, cheeks wet with anger, humiliation, and disbelief. Daniel filled out the arrest form. Muttering, could have just paid like everyone else. She stared at him through the glass divider. I was paying, she said quietly. I was buying medicine for my grandma. She's sick. He didn't look up. But then a message came through his radio, urgent, sharp. All units be advised. Chief Bryant is en route to Wright's Pharmacy, responding to a detainment involving minor Taylor Bryant. Daniel's hand froze mid-sentence. Bryant. Chief Naomi Bryant. His commander. His superior. The woman who ran the entire department with unbreakable calm. And her last name was Bryant. He glanced in the cruiser mirror at the girl he had cuffed. Taylor Bryant? His blood went cold. Moments later, a black SUV cut through the rain like a blade. The door flew open, and Chief Naomi Bryant stepped into the Lotno umbrella. No hesitation, her presence commanding as storm wind. She reached the cruiser window and stared at her daughter, her only child, shivering in the back seat. Taylor's eyes flooded again, not with fear now, but relief. Naomi turned slowly toward Daniel. Her voice was calm. Officer Griggs explained to me why my daughter is in handcuffs. Every word felt like a strike. Daniel swallowed. His badge suddenly felt heavier than a brick. She appeared to be, acting suspicious. Hood up, alone, looked like she was concealing items. Naomi blinked once, and then again longer this time. She was concealing. Where is the stolen property? Daniel hesitated. She hadn't left the store yet. Evelyn, the cashier, rushed outside. Chief Bryant Taylor was waiting to pay. I told your officer that, but Daniel shot her a look. But Evelyn ignored him. He didn't listen. For the first time, Naomi's voice rose. You arrested a minor buying cough medicine? Without evidence? Without exit? Without cause? Rain soaked through her uniform, but she didn't move. She unlocked the cruiser door herself. Cuffs clicked open. Taylor stepped out, rubbing red wrists. Daniel felt something unfamiliar, guilt, gnawing through his certainty. Naomi faced him again. Do you know how many times I have stood at podiums and told the community we were better than our past? How many parents trusted me, believing change was possible? Her voice cracked not from weakness, but restrained fury, and tonight he proved them wrong. Daniel tried to speak. Chief. My instinct, she repeated sharply. You saw a black teen and assumed criminal. The accusation was not show to just, undeniably true. He opened his mouth, closed it. For the first time in 10 years, he had nothing to say. Inside the chief's office, hours later, Daniel sat across from Naomi in her private office. Her daughter waited outside, sipping tea Evelyn had made for her. The room was silent except for a ticking wall clock each second in accusation. Finally, Naomi spoke. "You were a good officer once. Careful, fair. What happened?" Daniel stared at his hands. "I stopped seeing people. Started seeing suspects." He exhaled, shoulders sinking. "And tonight I saw her hoodie before I saw her." Naomi nodded slowly. "That's how it begins. Not with hatred, but with assumption, with the comfort of stereotypes." She leaned forward. "Taking the badge means taking responsibility for more than the law. It means seeing every person as human first." "Do you understand what you risked tonight?" Daniel's voice trembled. "I do now. Redemption or ruin." Naomi slid two papers across the desk. One was a resignation form. The other disciplinary training program, 6-month probation, mandatory community service. BIA is in de-escalation training, plus supervised patrols. "Your choice," she said. Daniel looked at both and chose not to run. "I'll learn," he said quietly. "I want to be better. I need to be." Naomi nodded once, accepting, but not forgiving. "Then earn back the badge you forgot how to wear." 6 months later, Officer Daniel Griggs walked his beat not with pride but with humility. He volunteered at community centers, mentored teen recruits, and worked alongside Taylor at youth safety workshops. People noticed the change. But most importantly, he now listened before he judged, saw before he assumed, understood before he reacted. One evening, after a seminar, Taylor approached him with a soft smile. "You're different now," she said. Daniel nodded. "I had a good teacher." She glanced through the open office door where her mother stood, arms folded, strong, watchful. "Proud, no," Taylor said gently. "You had a wake-up call, double quotes, and the badge never fell silent again,